Why hello there everyone, this is Jam764 and welcome to another Transport Fever update video. Now unfortunately, I have some bad news. A, I'm still on my old gaming desktop. Well, that's not really too bad, but you know what I mean. And B, this is my second time recording this thing due to some technical difficulties I was having earlier, which lost all the footage that I recorded earlier. Ugh. Also, YouTube was being dumb, but that's a different matter for another time. So anyway, let's take a look at this developer vlog that they've done for the new vehicle features. Uh, it does have its own commentary, so I do suggest that y'all watch it on your own. But I mean, I'll be going in detail over it anyway. So yeah, let's do this.
Hello, my name is Tom. I'm the community and product manager here at Urban Games, and in today's developer video log, I would like to show you some of the features of the vehicles in Transport Fever. For that, I'm using our model editor, and I will load up one of my favorite models in the game, the C40, which is perfectly suited to show the first feature.
Now, as he stated, this is Tom. He's the PR manager for Train Fever and Transport Fever as well. And he's an awesome guy. I I'll have to give him a second clap because the first one got lost. But yeah, if y'all get the chance to talk to him, he's really nice and well, he'll probably be covering these a lot. But also, as you can see, this is the new model editor, and I must say, it is an amazing tool that I wish we had for Train Fever 1. So much. I mean, we kind of did, but it was fan made. Now it's outdated, and it doesn't even work on my computer for some stupid reasons, which is mainly the reason why the mod pack for Train Fever I wanted to make a long time ago never got finished because it was pretty hard to mod Train Fever. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, now most people have figured it out, but now we have a tool basically that comes with the game. So, oh well. Anyway, let's keep going.
All the vehicles in Transport Fever are equipped with lights, and as you can see in this example, on the front side of the train, there are multiple lights which turn on and off depending on the driving direction of the train. This, of course, is especially relevant for vehicles which do not turn around in stations, in particular multiple units.
Alright, so what he said there was pretty important. Apparently, vehicles can now simply reverse out of stations instead of flipping magically like they used to in Train Fever, which would be awesome. I don't think it's set in stone, but I kind of hope it is. Because I really hated the fact that vehicles just flipped in Train Fever. I mean, I could take it in older games like Locomotion and stuff like that, but in a more realistic game, it just irks me badly. And also, I seem to have also forgotten to overview the mod tool. Um, just a few features like your obligatory open, close, and save buttons. But there's also a few other things like the auto update, which I guess whenever you make a change to the vehicle, will automatically change it in the editor. Render environment, which isn't shown, but I think it creates a background of sorts for the vehicle stuff. Background color, which is the color of the normal background you see here. So if you don't want it black, you change it to a different number and it changes the color. RGB, I believe it is red, green, blue. Render axis, axis, which aren't shown. Render debug info, which obviously isn't shown. I'm not quite sure what this option is. Hard to see in my screen. Enable, I think anti-aliasing or something similar to that. This one's enable shadows, so you can see how lighting affects. I actually wonder if you can move the light in the editor though, change the angle. But enable, I can't see that last one. I think that's HDR lighting. think that's what it says. It's hard to tell on the screen because it's so small. It is a bit blurry on my old gaming rig. Not quite sure what this is. I think that's just like a version of the model, perhaps. Not certain. Speed scale, which I think is related to animation. Wireframe only, which basically changes it from this to just the wired form of how your vehicle looks if you were editing it at, say, Maya, Blender, or whatever you use. I use Maya, though. Center X, which I assume moves the vehicle to the X-axis to where the game thinks it should be when it loads it, which is useful because a lot of times in Train Fever I've seen developer blogs from the modders where when they import a vehicle it was flipped either on its side or upside down or standing vertically in air when it should be going horizontal. It's hilarious. But hopefully that's a lot easier to fix now. And then these last three he'll go over. Material, he didn't show it off in the video, but I assume that it changes basically this. Because I assume you can have different material files for your vehicles. Animation, which will show backward as he's showing now, affects the light, which is awesome. These are for the animation as well. I'm not sure what a vehicle and loop do. I don't think I showed those off. Screenshot, which I guess you can use to easily make, obviously, screenshots for your mods and stuff. GUI icons. Not quite sure. Maybe it generates those, or maybe you can edit those. And website, which I have no idea what that does, and I can't even read that last one. And I think that says options on my others. Hard to tell. But let's keep going.
Interesting to know for modders, the lights are implemented via independent mesh files with HDR textures, which are just moved to another place via animations. Vehicles undergo an aging and weathering process. They catch dirt and rust over time. Here in the model editor we have 5 steps to demonstrate an accelerated aging process within the game. The aging is nearly stepless. Aging is implemented via an own overlay texture. One channel is used for dirt, one channel is used for rust. Every vehicle has its own dirt and rust overlays, and as you can see, usually on these edges or in hard to reach places, the aging process starts first and then spreads over the whole vehicle.
Now, what he said there, I really like. I mean, vehicles finally weather and age and all. But oh wait, hold on. He hasn't said that part yet.
Aging, of course, can be seen as a valuable feedback for the player to decide if a vehicle needs maintenance or maybe has to be replaced completely.
Okay, there we go. Accidentally cut him off. But yeah, what he said there is probably the most important thing I've heard so far in this video, which is vehicles now need to be sent in for maintenance or even replaced now. Which back in Train Fever you could run vehicles for 100+ years if you wanted, and the only problem you'd have would be running costs, really, and naturally their speed or power. But yeah, I'm curious. Does that mean they'll break down, or does that mean they'll just be reduced in effectiveness to a point where you'll want to replace or repair them? Because personally, I don't like breakdowns in games, very realistic games, unless the time is like 1 minute is 1 real-time minute, like it is in Cities in Motion 2. That I can take. But when it's awfully scaled, like 150 years within 20 hours, like it was in Train Fever, that's when breakdowns annoy me greatly. But that'd be kind of cool, because it would also make sense to have depots everywhere now. Because with the auto-replace vehicle feature, all your vehicles would do would just simply magically poof into another vehicle type and all, and you never really have to send them back to the depot unless you had to. So it'd be kind of cool now to make it mandatory. But one thing I do kind of wonder is, will the environment affect how vehicles age? Because there is a separate texture, I believe he said, for dirt and rust. I'm not sure if they're combined. I kind of hope they're separate. So I'm wondering, like, if your vehicle's in a desert, will it get dustier faster than it will rust? Or if it's along the sea or near water, will it rust faster than it gets dirty? Because that kind of makes sense to me as far as I know. But that'd be kind of cool. Make it environmentally based as well.
I mentioned two channels in this overlay texture for Dirt and Rust before. The third channel is used for a customized paint job, allowing the player to paint part of the vehicles in his own desired color. On top of that, it's also possible to place a customized logo.
So basically what he showed off there was the ability to recolor vehicles in certain areas, which is very cool. The one thing I would like to know is, as far as the vehicle colors go, let me back up a bit to where he showed off the... Come on, meteor there.
And customized logo. Of that, it's also...
Yeah, there we go. Oh, darn it.
Desired color. On top of that...
Okay, yeah. So here's all the colors so far that we can see to recolor vehicles. I mean, it's not a bad list, but I kind of wish that they could be custom RGB numbers instead, or a range, like color wheel that you can pick from. Because up here you can see you can change the background color to basically any color out of 0 to 255, which, let's face it, is every color on a modern screen these days. That'd be kind of cool, but I understand if they don't let us. And also, will you be able to color multiple parts of a vehicle differently? Like, you can see where the part of the cab and the side changes color, but this yellow part down here doesn't. Will we be able to select multiple colors for multiple sections? Like if we wanted this green and say we wanted this, I don't know, maybe red or blue, we could do that? I'm not sure. But that'd be a cool feature if we could.
It's also possible to place a customized logo. Each logo set contains up to 6 different variations of the same logo in different shapes and sizes. And as you can see here on the side, there is one variation with the logo and a text. On the front side, the logo without the text, and in comparison to that, from the same logo set on a different locomotive, only a text variation. And of course, it's possible to add own logos in addition to the pre-built logos shipped with the game.
Now, I really do like that feature, especially on Showdown. Where was it?
Pre-built logos. It's possible to add.
Very hard to tell.
Motive.
There we go. Come on.
Without
yeah,
the
sorry I'm
text,
fiddling around with this, guys.
From the same
I just
logo
don't have
set.
time to edit or anything this morning. But as you can see, the logos can change depending on what vehicle they're on. And I just like this feature so much. I'm going to exploit it heavily when the game comes out. Let's just say. I mean, I wanted this feature so bad in Train Fever 1. I'm so glad it's here now, though. Let's keep going.
Of course, it's possible to add in addition to the pre-built logos shipped with the game. The next big feature is the interior. For that I will load the MAN SL192, which has a very big and roomy interior. And interior has also a purpose, especially for passenger vehicles. Namely, people will sit in the vehicles. Here in the model editor I'm just filling up the bus in very rough steps with random passengers. Later on in the game itself, the passengers waiting at the stop will be the same, which are then placed in the vehicles.
Now that's one feature I do like. We can now kind of see how the interiors are affected when vehicles. No, when passengers are added to vehicles now, which is very awesome. But one thing I would like to know is, can we do the same for cargos? Like if we had a box car, could we fill it up with, say, boxes, and for each step, see how that affects it? Because that'd be cool too. Also, as y'all saw, the passengers were moving about in the interior, so they're not just statically sitting there. They're actually moving. But do the drivers move? Because I haven't seen that yet. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but that'd be cool.
The last feature we will take a closer look at today are animations, which start at rather simple animations, like the doors here from the bus. and of course go up to more complex processes like the landing gears from airplanes. For that I will skip to the Airbus A320. Here I can show you the landing gear animation.
And here's this beautiful thing again. I'm not much of a plane person, but this makes me want to go back and play like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2002 or something. Because this is just a beautiful model. It's just beautiful.
Which are triggered before landing and after takeoff. The flaps and rudders are not animated in the model editor, but in the game these are used to simulate the movement of the airplane in a physically correct way.
Now, that was a very, very beautiful animation. I gotta give them props for that. That's about as good as I can think of any game so far, especially transport game for animations. But as you said, planes have lost the dynamic like flaps and rudders to where if they're turning or rolling, see the flaps and rudder adjust accordingly. Now they're just plain static, which kind of sucks. But I'd understand why. I mean, if you had 500 of these things flying about, the last thing you want is all their flaps and rudders moving around realistically. That would bring things to a crawl. But it's I just like what they did with the vehicles in this game. It is just a major improvement from Train Fever. It's just beautiful. But I think that's it.
I hope you enjoyed this first look at.
Yep, that's it. So I I can't wait for the next dev vlog, which from what I heard on the grapevine, I'll just put it that way. Hopefully we'll be on Wednesdays. No guarantee, but that seems to be what they're going for as far as I can tell. So I'll be trying to do these videos every Wednesday or so. Also, I should have that new channel up soon, depending on how my computers feel. When I get all that set up, I'm probably going to have to reformat them, which will put behind some things. But that's for me to deal with on my own time on my channel. But thank you guys for watching. This is JM764, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.